A year after price deregulation, motorists are still suffering massive price inflation for gasoline. Illegal wildlife trafficking is threatening Mexico's biodiversity, and despite any setbacks, agricultural production comes through with outstanding trade results. Hello and welcome to today's edition of Mexico News Network's Breaking News Business. I'm your host, Joseph Garza. Let's go on down to the information. A year after the liberation of the gasoline market, pricing for gas has remained strongly in favor of dealers, not motorists. This situation is best exemplified by comparing the level of prices that have been reached in some of the most important cities in the country. For the first month of 2018, the average fuel price was 17.03 pesos per liter, an increase of 4.3%. So the cumulative increase in the last 2 years is 27.8%, according to information from the National Institute of Statistics. The cities closest to the distribution centers, and particularly those on the border with the large refineries, have way lower prices compared to cities that are located further away. The city that registered the highest average price after the first year of the price release is Ciudad Jimenez in the state of Chihuahua, with 17.49 pesos per liter for Magna gasoline. According to Institute of Statistics, the average increase there from January 2017 to January 2018 was 7.6%. By contrast, the city that registered the lowest average price was Matamoros in the state of Tamaulipas, with 12.81 pesos per liter, a fact that is not surprising since it is located just on the border of the state of Texas. At an international level, the cost of gasoline in Mexico in general is almost 40% lower than that in Europe, but by comparison, it actually costs 36% more than in the United States. In other news, illegal wildlife trafficking is a problem on a global scale. The black market for exotic wildlife is one of the most lucrative illegal businesses in the world, with earnings estimated to be up to $100 billion per year, according to the United Nations Program for the Environment. In recent years, there has been a huge increase in demand for Mexican wildlife, largely due to its accessibility to the black markets of the United States, Asia, and Europe. The alarming decline of the vaquita marina, a rare type of porpoise and the only endemic marine mammal in Mexico, is intrinsically linked to the capture of the drumfish totoaba, as the vaquitas get caught in fishing nets, according to the International Committee for the Recovery of the Vaquita Marina. It is estimated that now only 30 specimens remain in the wild. On the fate of different Mexican species sold in the global market, Joel González Moreno, General Director of the Federal Office of Environmental Protection, reports that they arrive at various places on the planet, such as Hong Kong and the Canton region of China, and even Holland, where in 2016, 256 Mexican reptiles were found. González Moreno mentions that the Mexican species that fetch the highest prices are jaguars, which can be sold at up to 70,000 pesos apiece, the golden eagle up to 50,000 pesos, the scarlet macaw and the puma each around 30,000, and the yellow-headed parrot between 15,000 and 20,000 pesos, according to estimated costs found in both the legal and illegal markets. Moving on, faced with the renegotiation of the North American Free Trade Agreement, the Canadian market has shown interest in Mexican pork, specifically that produced in Querétaro, putting on the table the export of this product. The head of the Secretariat of Agricultural Development, Tonatio Cervantes Curiel, said that the commercial exchange of this meat represents a new market for local production. The commercial exchange will remain in the hands of the companies involved, so until now, the quantity of meat that would be exported is unknown, as well as when the product emission would begin. In this context, and in the face of the ongoing NAFTA negotiations, food trade between the three countries continues. However, the market diversification strategy for national production also goes on. Asian countries, too, have shown interest in buying Mexican agricultural products. Mexico exported products from the agricultural sector to China for a commercial value of $321 million in 2017, which means a growth of 54% compared to 2016, according to data from the Secretariat of Agricultural, Livestock, Rural Development, Fisheries, and Food. Likewise, there was a percentage increase in the export of frozen pork, with 334%, shrimp and frozen prawns with 230%, fish meal with 163%, beer with 144%, and pectic materials with 127%. And finally, let's turn to the markets. The Mexican peso increased 0.08% to 18.7267 from 18.7111 in the previous trading session. On the other hand, the IPC Mexico decreased 0.66% to 48,607 from 48,883 in the previous trading session. This was all for today. Thank you so much again for staying with us. I'm your host, Joseph Garza. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, and log on to MexicoNewsNetwork.com for more information on Mexico and the world. See you next time.